All right, so here we are in our very high-tech recording setup. And this lecture is not going to be on the Paralogisms next section, but it is an episode of Beezie Takes Questions. So based on some of your question and comment answers, it seems like a lot of you are wondering, and for a good reason, what Kant is on about when he's talking about rational psychology. So that was my bad. I probably should have said a little bit more about that in my introduction. Okay, sorry, Beezie. But Beezie, can you tell us a little bit about rational psychology? Can you explain it to us? Okay, so what Beezie said is that rational psychology is kind of the name for that branch of metaphysics where it tries to derive things about the soul. So thinking about metaphysics of the soul. All right, and so when you look at exactly the arguments that he's criticizing in the paralogisms, they pretty much all fall under the heading of rational psychology. So rational psychology is the kind of thing you can think of when, say, you read Descartes and you see all the different kinds of things that Descartes gets just from the cogito, right? So just from the I think, we get all kinds of things about the soul and it being substance, etc., etc. Okay, that's exactly the kind of mistake that Kant thinks is going on in the paralogisms. So to be clear, when he talks about rational psychology, he's going to criticize it ultimately. So he's basically saying that it's going to try and come to all these kinds of conclusions which it's not allowed to do. And it's not so he can replace it with his own rational psychology. He's, in this basic critical project, he's trying to show you why all these different kinds of things that we might try to do through pure reason are mistaken. So ultimately, what's going to happen is these kinds of arguments that rational psychologists, if we can call them that, are trying to make is that they're going to end up trying to go beyond the bounds of possible experience. And as we know, as good Kantians, that's a bad thing. Okay, but you know what's not bad? Beezie. Beezie's perfect. So we're going to give Beezie a treat. And then we're going to go on to another question.